Yeah, I know. I gotta check my own live. I'm gonna have to refresh everything.
Alright.
I am live though, supposedly at least. Open my dashboard, we'll find out. Stream preview offline. Well, that's not good.
For me,
Stream preview online. Perfect.
can you see the...
Okay, so we're good. My stream's good. Let me check yours. Your stream's good. Let me check one thing. Okay, I can hear you in your stream.
Okay.
I can't hear you in my stream.
That's a problem. Do you just want to end yours? Because it's not really going to make sense when there's just one person talking.
How do we fix this? It should be able to take background audio when you're talking.
Yeah. Mine's picking up yours.
Audio. Oh, because it's not taking desktop audio off of my desktop. Got it.
So
Should be working now.
you can see the After Hours podcast logo.
On yours or
Yeah.
on?
On mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm still trying to fix mine. I'm gonna have to cancel. Okay. I stopped my stream.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm just not going to because it doesn't work. So yeah, I'm good. We're good.
Alright. First
Welcome to
topic.
After Hours.
Welcome. Anyways, start with our first topic for tonight. I'll ask you this question. In your personal opinion, what do you think the number one problem America is facing today?
Yikes. Too many should be the honest answer. But
If you had to choose one that just stands out the most.
I don't know if I could find you a direct answer for that question.
Yeah, to be fair, there's a lot that tie for first place.
Very true.
Alright. Second? Alright, so the first official topic we'll talk about will be sports.
We gotta love sports.
We do love sports. What is your favorite sport?
Hockey, all the way.
Solid. I gotta go to good old classic football for me. And
Good old class.
I used to play soccer, but
Me too.
back when I was in 7th grade, at practice, my ankle gave out.
This is a very unfortunate thing to hear.
Yeah, so that's where my soccer career ended. Never really picked up on it. Also, just a friendly reminder that this podcast is family friendly. This is a family friendly podcast. You can listen to it with your kids in the car. If you drive listening to podcasts, that's another thing that you should be seriously concerned about.
As long as you're off your phone.
Yes,
Don't be
correct.
driving on your phone.
Correct.
If you got it playing through the speakers, that's fine. Don't be driving on your phone, man. That's not good. That's not safe.
Um,
Safety issue.
how on a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you experienced with the sport of football?
I have to go a solid 8.
8. Okay. To be honest, me with hockey, I got to go with a 3.
That's unfortunate.
Anyways, and so this year's we're on week. We're on week 6. Who do you think, if you had to choose 2 teams from the AFC and NFC, one from each, to make the Super Bowl, who do you think is a good matchup for the 2023 season?
From AFC and NFC.
Yes, one from each.
You know, AFC for you talking Super Bowl or just like standard AFC NFC game?
Through the playoffs into the big game. We're not choosing a winner, we're just choosing the 2 teams who we think will make it.
Kansas City's gonna cheat. They can't make it again. Can't let that happen. I'd say a solid lineup would be maybe AFC, probably Bills. Bills are looking good this year. They're not looking too bad.
Bills are looking good. 49ers for NFC though. They're 5-0 right now.
True.
They have arguably the best defense in the league, and probably, maybe, arguably the best offense. They're playing the Vikings on Monday, and they're gonna go 6-0. Bengals 29th, 7-0.
Obviously.
Eagles though.
Eagles are kind of tight.
Eagles are also 5-0. They're playing the Dolphins on the 22nd. That's gonna be a tough game. I think Dolphins are 4-1 right now.
Dolphins are top AFC 4-1. That is correct.
Yes. That's gonna be a really close game, honestly. After the Dolphins especially dropped 70 points on the Broncos.
That was an unfortunate game. I'm very upset I didn't get to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins head coach, was literally in the stands asking fans what plays they wanted them to run.
Yeah, that's just it's a disrespectful thing. But
yeah. What also is the one of the greatest things is the Broncos passed up on Coach Mike McDaniel and sent him to the Dolphins.
True.
Mike McDaniel wanted to sign with the Broncos, but they turned him down. So later, he decided to drop 70 points on them. Which is pretty disrespectful, I'm not gonna lie. So what do we think? What do we think about Jalen Ramsey going to the Dolphins?
Not something I was expecting to see.
Yeah, me either. I mean, there wasn't a lot of talk of him after the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Which I could see why you would want to make a random switch like that. You're trying to get the spotlight.
Yeah.
But I feel like even after his trade, there was no spotlight.
There wasn't really a lot of spotlight, honestly. Tyreek Hill was the one that surprised me the most. Like, Tyreek Hill had best career start ever in Kansas City, but he decided to choose money over his home team.
Hmm.
I mean, to be fair, he is, if I'm correct, he is leading in receiving yards right now.
I believe so. If I'm, you should. I'm pretty sure.
Jets, though. Speaking of the Jets, their unfortunate injury with Aaron Rodgers' second snap of the season.
That was a very
Um,
out for the rest of the season. It was right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's going to be a hard comeback if he does choose to stay next season.
there was a lot of talk about Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins going to the Jets. There's a lot of rumors about it.
I did hear a couple. I don't really. I don't. I don't want to say it would be a bad thing, a bad switch.
Um, 3 hours ago, the star corner, arguably one of the best in the league, Sauce Gardner, has been rolled out for the Eagles game with concussion.
Hmm. That could play into the Eagles' favor.
6'3" corner, out for the game.
That would not exactly be an amazing thing to happen. Of course, for the opposing. But you said that was 3 hours ago?
It was 3 hours ago by ESPN.
Interesting play.
All right.
Not something you want to see from.
Yeah. We'll switch up the topic a little bit to something more chilled. Um, if you could go any place in the world right now, you were free, didn't have any plans, can go anywhere in the world right now, money was not a problem. Where would you go?
You would catch me in Colorado, that's for sure.
Or not even leaving the
Solid
country?
place. Very beautiful. If I really wanted to leave the country that bad, I think I'd be. I don't know where I'd be. um.
Anyways.
Yeah. Maybe go to Europe.
Where
Spend a
at
little
Europe?
time. Why Europe? Yeah, actually, maybe not Europe. Europe's looking pretty controversial right now to a lot of people.
Yeah, just don't go to the never mind, we're not gonna talk about that.
I think if I really wanted to leave the country that bad, I would probably go somewhere.
Don't go to the Hamas or Israel.
No, I'll go to Cuba.
Cuba?
I'll stay in U.S. territories.
No, honestly, I think
Dominica's not too bad either, though. Not a cool choice.
I might go to the. There's two places I might go. Either Bahamas or Fiji.
Fiji's not a bad spot. Fiji's a pretty solid choice.
I mean, they do have some quality water.
Indeed, they do, but overpriced.
Very overpriced, but it is good. It's low key
Can only
worth it.
imagine. Can only imagine what their average bill is at a standard restaurant there.
Um,
You're getting Fiji water with every meal. You could ask for a glass of water. They're charging you for Fiji water.
so Fiji's a country on like a very small island.
Mhm.
How do they even have a military?
That I'm aware of, no. I think they fall into
All right.
the
From
Dominican.
Wikipedia, they have 4,500 active soldiers.
$4,500 in Fiji. Fiji's active military.
Fiji's active military has about 4,500 soldiers and approximately 6,200 reserved.
6,200 reserve. That's all royal forces, though,
Yeah.
which does come into play. Really standard. It's is Fiji a democracy? I think Fiji's a dictatorship, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm incorrect. Fiji is a democracy
It is a democracy?
with a prime minister, though,
Oh.
not a president. Prime minister, so it's really their head of government. But it still runs on a multi-party system. So
Yeah. Alright, well, I'll let you choose the topic for the next thing.
um, the chill topics are nice. I like chill topics. I try to avoid what do you call it? Political. Try to avoid the political. You don't want to start arguments. Not this early.
Yeah.
It's too late to be starting arguments.
Maybe at like midday. Like we're just chillaxed a little bit. We got
If
some
I-
rain going in the background, so you guys can relax.
If I wanted to have a political argument, I would personally choose around 16 o'clock. Probably like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's when I've
Like
got the
maybe-
most energy to
Maybe
argue.
right before dinner time.
Yeah.
You
16:30.
get all frustrated in your politics, and you just go eat dinner and forget about it.
Good dinner, just forget about it. Can't ask.
Okay, we
questions.
got a topic suggested by one of
Topics.
our dear friends. So it was Joe Biden or Trump. As we just said. Listen,
You know, it's a little late for politics.
it is a little late for politics, but as it was requested, the show must go on. You know,
If you want an honest opinion,
here, just hold on a minute. So, a discretion advised. This is my personal opinion. If something offends anybody, it was not my intention. This is once again a personal opinion. not meant to target anybody or anyone. Personally, with how America is doing right now, this is besides Trump's court case and all that.
His recent
If
arrests.
if we're talking about like the middle of Trump's term and the middle of Biden's term, I feel like Trump would be doing a better job. And I'm not saying Biden is doing a bad job, but
When
there's just a line that you need to draw when you realize the economic and re- religious state of America right now. The funding and activity going towards, like, have you seen the talk and all the pictures of the 4-day school weeks?
I have.
And I get there's a difference between federal and state power, but the school systems, it's over 1,000 schools that now have 4-day school weeks, and
Mhm.
Biden, I he does have the power to pass an approval for them to go back to 5-day school weeks. And I don't want to say that I personally wouldn't like 4-day school weeks, because I would 100%. But
It would be great.
schools
But
need 180 days of school, so that means they're gonna get like a week of summer. And who wants just a week of summer? Like, school is probably the most important time of your life for educational purposes, and
specifically, more or less primary school, I think the kindergarten through eighth grade system, it's run fine, but you really start learning your primary. You start running your primary knowledge learning and critical thinking abilities in the 9 through 12 range.
yeah,
And post secondary school, so college into, um, if you go to college multiple times, you want a degree, you want this, that, the other. It's a, uh, which degrees are a great thing to have. They get you a lot of jobs, good for you. But most people really, and you see this when you start to actually age. Most people end up in college under a scholarship, primarily always for sports. Sports scholarships are the number one passed out scholarships in the United States.
and it's honestly like they're too much given out. And I don't want to say like, I don't want to be like, you shouldn't have your scholarship rejected. But with high school football, the rules are just most of the time whack. And like, I really don't know how to like word it, but I feel like scholarships should be harder to obtain. Um, all right. Remember, we do have a Discord linked in the description of this video. So if you want to join there and request topics for us to talk about, feel free. But as we were saying, it is in EST 10:04 p.m. So there's not really much to talk about now, but we will always take suggestions. Anything you want to add to that?
And jumping, I don't want to really jump back to our political conversation. It's not really ever something you really want to talk about, but it's the easiest thing to talk about because everybody has their own opinion.
But yeah, it starts discussions.
It's definitely I don't want to say a conversation opener. You never want to open a conversation with, how's politics today? But
to be fair, if you ever go up to an elderly man, that's all they will talk about.
That's all they want to talk
You go up to an elderly man's like Facebook, and that's all it is.
Yeah. And you see who's in office, and you start looking around, and you actually start to understand politics as you age, and you get deeper into the conversation, and then you get to voting age, and then it's kind of like something you want to be more focused on. And when you start looking around, you realize somebody that pulls their troops out of Afghanistan after a 13-year war isn't exactly somebody you would want in office. But
let me jump in on that. If I'm not mistaken, he not only pulled our troops out of Afghanistan, but he also left millions and millions of dollars of jets and guns over there for them to use.
Not just jets and weapons. It comes down to a reason. We've spent so much money, and
We're
within the
over
past
$1 trillion in debt.
within the past 6 years, I'll say, because of Trump's 4-year term, it's kind of aggravating seeing how Trump did send over a lot of that equipment for it to be left there.
Yeah,
Within the first week of the removal of United States troops from Afghanistan, there was already multiple United States camps overrun, not only by, per se, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, but by also civilians.
yeah.
There are civilian people in Afghanistan that are so concerned over the United States pull that they are trying to get weapons to protect themselves, which may benefit them when it comes to protecting themselves. But if the United States does in fact get sent back eventually, which I have a feeling we will,
Yeah.
a lot of these weapons are going to be recognized as United States, and then a lot of these civilians that have them are going to be recognized as Al-Qaeda, ISIS groups because of having United States weapons. And you would assume that that's all that was taken, but
It's something funny.
when it comes down to it, no, nothing at all. When it comes down to it, it got to the point where there were United States Marines, Army, Navy destroying their own equipment because there were United States troops destroying their own equipment because they knew it wasn't gonna come back with them. And well, you would obviously not want your opposing group to have this equipment.
Yeah, oof.
Something cat got your tongue there.
Yeah. What do you think the future of America looks like?
Right now, dark.
Absolutely fantastic.
Very dark. Um,
Um,
we are getting nowhere fast.
correct. And I don't want to like start any arguments here, but there wasn't any furries walking the streets when Trump was in office.
Yeah, Trump was also never confused trying to get off stage.
Trump also never fell down the steps of Air Force One.
Oh, let me 4 times. 4 times. He fell 4 times down the stairs. Not just once. And he actually didn't fall down the stairs. He fell up the stairs. Get it right. Um,
Um, so back to sniffing children.
uh, man, I would hate to see him in a wax museum. He's in one in New
Then the
York.
children can get revenge. Be for real.
Well, he's in one in New York. Most people are actually afraid to go near it. I wouldn't really want to go near that one either. I mean, you could see him in a wax museum in Washington D.C. too. I'm pretty sure. But at that point, why not just go stand outside the White House for him to get confused enough to walk out the front door?
Excuse me, sir. Are you my bodyguard?
If you get lucky, he might miss the car and walk up to the fence too.
No, actually, he'll miss the car and then he'll run right back up to Air Force One and fall down.
Well, if he can make it to Air Force One, that's a. Wouldn't say that's a short walk.
For him. Anyways,
Well,
different.
You wouldn't
topic.
exactly want him. You wouldn't want him riding a bike there either, to be honest. So
He did try to cover it up. You know, my foot got caught in those foot pedal thingies. Like,
he tried to save himself. He did try to save himself, but at the same time, he could have broke his wrist, which I don't know if I would have been very upset. That would have been one less bad bill passed, but we should really switch up the topic soon.
agreed, Alex F. Please request more topics in our chat, please and thank you.
You know, new topics never upset. United States economy.
That's still politics, ladies and gentlemen.
Economy, is it? Everything's expensive.
Yes.
I shouldn't be spending $12 on a bottle of water.
I shouldn't be spending $5 a gallon on gas.
Now, we can keep it in government, but we can keep it off politics. There's a difference between government and politics, and that's where the college talk comes in. That's where school talk comes in. Let's talk about roads.
When I tell you, in my town, I have never seen so much construction at once than this past week.
In my town, you know, a place
Far
is
away.
always avoided. A place, you know, the area is always avoided by normally construction and
Everybody.
power committees, but there's been a lot more activity recently. I've seen a lot of power companies around. They're setting up a lot of new water lines.
When I was down there, as
Our mayor's doing a great job. Can't say that's wrong.
yes, he is doing a great job. Thank you. As the mayor myself, I'm.
As the mayor, my son, your son's the mayor.
Yes, my
Well,
son is the mayor.
this is a topic to talk about.
Anyways, when I was there, we actually got as a member of the fire department down there, we got a call down near. There's really nowhere to describe it. Across from the police department.
Mm-hmm.
A Dollar General truck actually came through, smacked the power line. It decided to fall down through a car's windshield.
Clearances are very bad in this town. I'll say that.
Yeah. Especially the clearance aisles at Dollar General. Anyways,
Better than $15 Fiji water.
better than Fiji in general.
That's
I swear,
you didn't.
everybody used to talk about Fiji, but now, like, it's just forgotten.
Well, nobody wants to pay those expenses to leave the country, so
That's true.
you know you have to pay to die in America. You
Yeah.
have to pay money to legally die in America.
Yeah.
Plus funeral expenses, coffin.
Well, you gotta earn that debt back, am I right?
Mm,
Just start
never gonna
COVID
happen.
again. You'll make that back in no time.
Oh yeah, toilet paper aisles cleaned out.
Yeah.
Darn.
Hmm.
Start using keyboards.
Like, I'm still so confused why everybody targeted toilet paper. Not food. There's enough of that. Toilet paper.
Even long lasting food, canned food never went out.
Yeah.
And that's your that's what's really going to keep you through an area. That's long lasting food. That's food you don't have to cook. I mean, it's better if you cook it, but
Me
you don't
personally,
have to
if I
cook.
was a CEO of, like, a toilet paper company such as, like, Charmin or something, I would be, like, I'd be fine. I'd be making bank.
Well, yeah, you know, Charmin Ultra Strong. You know, they're swimming in their cash right now.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and it's still expensive to buy toilet paper. They didn't really even boost. They didn't boost the price,
They never
so it got
boosted.
cleaned out nice and fast.
They
But
never.
now
They
after
never boosted the
COVID,
price.
boosted.
They never boosted the price until, like, they weren't selling as much. Like, back in 2020, nobody cared what toilet paper they bought.
They are not even. They're you know, Charmin companies, all the big toilet paper companies. They're not really. They don't even use their own toilet paper brands. They're literally wiping with their own cash right now.
Yeah.
And it's aggravating. It's not exactly something.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon. I wish I was rich enough to, you know, wipe with some cash, but not everybody has that luxury.
Yeah. Um, we really don't have any topics to talk about, so if you guys want to request that in chat
You know,
or
being
our
as
Discord,
cast
be greatly appreciated.
as our first cast, we don't really come into this knowing what we're gonna do, and we never will. That's why this is after hours. You know, this is when it gets late. You have nothing better to do.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
want to sit around.
Which is pretty much
I mean,
every night.
people can sit and talk and just listen to other people talk for hours. I mean, YouTube rates are through the roof. But
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's not exactly plausible per se.
Yeah. We're approaching 40 minutes this podcast has been up now.
Not bad. Hobbies.
As I said, if you guys want to request some topics, that'd be actually pretty appreciated.
That's unfortunate. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Ooh,
It's a tough question for a lot. It's honestly a tough question for me.
yeah. Ooh. There's a bunch. Like, is there like a certain theme for a movie?
Um, let's go favorite action movie. See what you got.
Action movie.
Now you could classify a lot as action because action normally runs under a double genre. So there's, you
Yeah.
know, action history,
Actually,
action.
main action movies, I'm gonna have to go with World Trade Center. Based
It's a
on
good
9
movie.
11. Honestly, an amazing movie.
Very true. It's definitely an unfortunate real world event.
But what
So
about,
it's a very
what's your favorite drama?
deeply removed drama. I couldn't say drama. Um, it's not really something
I'm For drama, I'm gonna have to go with the movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
that. Yeah, that's not a bad one. I personally don't really watch too many dramas. It's not ever been really something I watch.
Favorite new movie slash show.
New.
New movies. Um, Actually,
A lot of new movies have come out recently,
for
and a
new
lot of
movies,
actually really decent movies.
I've there's one I want to watch, and it's called Air, based on Jordan.
Hmm.
Haven't been able to watch it yet. Came out a little bit ago. Gen V. Never heard of that one. Gotta check that out.
I you know, sequels are a nice thing. If I had to go for favorite new movie, I would have to go Avatar: Way of the Water.
That's a solid one.
I am a fan of Avatar, the original,
Yeah.
and seeing that as the first one came out in 2009, seeing as now what 12 years later, right? 12.
Yeah.
They were finally
It's a spin off
able to
of The
make.
Boys. Alright. Have to give it a shot. Have you heard of the new Winnie the Pooh movie?
I actually just one of my friends was watching it last night. I think I have not gotten the chance to watch it.
I haven't either, but heard some pretty good things about it.
I have heard decent bits. Um, free topic suggestion is always welcome in the chat.
Have you
And
watched the came out in 2022. It's on Netflix. It's called A Man Called Otto.
I have
It's actually
good
filmed
movie.
in my hometown, Pittsburgh. Honestly, it was great.
Pittsburgh is a wonderful place, a beautiful place. It's actually very underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is pretty underrated. Also, we do really appreciate you, Luke. There hasn't really been too much talk about movies lately. I mean, I guess I know the Barbie movie was just like a huge thing when it came out.
I know there's a lot of things going on in the movie world, movies aren't something I always really jump to when I think of something to do to fill my free time.
Well, to be
Sure.
fair, I don't I don't really watch movies that often.
I don't either. But it's something like I have a decent bit of free time on myself, and it's something I. The movies aren't something I normally think about watching when I have that free time. I do a lot of sleeping, which is not exactly a good thing, but it's not.
Well, yeah, I do a lot of sleeping too, honestly.
What's your favorite animated movie? Animated movies are pretty good
Animated
now.
movie. Whew.
See, because when you really think animated movie, you kind of think of like children's movies, things you watched when you were a kid, but that's not always what it comes out to be.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna have to go with any of the Cars movies.
Cars is a great choice.
The
Personally,
Cars 2 was just a whole
second one.
different world for me.
Yes, it was. I remember watching that
Also,
as a kid on repeat.
my favorite movie as a child was either Cars 2 or Everybody Sleeps on Rio.
Rio, yo, I actually just had a conversation about that with somebody. I I truly believe that I've never actually watched Rio beginning to end.
I have countless times, and I don't even know how many times that is.
Such a beautiful shade of blue. I won't even lie.
Ratatouille, though?
Ratatouille is fire. I think if I had to choose my favorite animated movie, and this is one that you could watch in this active time right now, this is a beautiful movie to watch, and you can watch it from now until the end of December. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a Halloween Christmas mix movie, and it is absolutely amazing to me. And people have that argument all the time. What do you think Nightmare Before Christmas is, a Halloween or Christmas movie? And you really, when it comes down to it, you really cannot decide. Because it's
Yeah.
technically based around the Halloween theme, and it's like a Grinch spin-off almost. You know, Jack Skellington trying to steal Christmas.
Yeah.
But then it's also themed around Christmas as well. So it's hard to pick.
As you said with Rio, I I don't think I've ever watched that beginning to end.
That is definitely one you should hit up this year.
Yeah?
You know, did you see they're bringing Moana back into theaters? 13th through
Moana.
26th this season. Moana, I won't lie, Moana was a good movie.
Also another one I've never watched beginning to end. I've seen countless clips.
I'm pretty sure when it came out, I went and I saw it originally in theaters.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
One
To
of
bring
the
it
one of
back.
the only movies I've ever watched in a theater. I'm not saying this is the only movie I've ever watched in a theater, but Avengers Endgame. And I'm gonna be honest.
I was actually.
I'm not a
was-
fan of Marvel or Avengers, but it was
Yeah.
a pretty good movie.
It was a solid movie. I saw that in theaters as well. And you know, it's a 3 hour, 5 minute movie, and I've honestly, I really, when I sat there and I watched in that theater, I swear I don't think it was 4 hours or 3 hours.
Honestly, I thought it was an hour and a half.
I agree. I went in, it was like early daytime. I came out, it was still like midday time. I felt like I was only in there for like really like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops.
Exactly.
And then you see stuff like popular YouTubers also creating movies now, like I don't know if you maybe know him, Sam and Colby.
Yeah.
They're actually making a movie. It's gonna stream. It's gonna premiere. It's
Just a quick pause, real quick. We appreciate your support, Luke. Hope to see you at the next stream Good night, brother.
Yeah, I agree. Support is always loved.
You know, as somebody that never really watches podcasts, it's not a boring thing to do.
It really isn't. And when you're on the speaking end of it, really, as long as you have topics, things you want to talk about, things you know you can talk about safely in an environment
Exactly.
without causing distress, it's actually almost calming.
And, that's also why we have a Discord, so you guys can suggest topics and we'll talk about them. So you guys can actually enjoy the podcast and not be bored.
Anything you want to hear, anything you want to talk about, it's always appreciated. Discord link was sent just a little bit ago.
It should still be
I
in chat
believe
for
it's
you guys. Also,
in-
Discord link, as you see on the top of the screen, it is in the description. So feel free to check that out. We love your guys' support.
It's nice to also talk about things that you know other people want to hear you talk about, want to hear your opinion on.
Yeah, and
Something.
the first podcast is always like gonna be the worst because you don't know what your viewers want to hear and you don't know like what their interests are, and that's why we open the Discord so you guys can suggest topics and we'll talk about them so we keep you guys entertained. Because I'm gonna be honest, sitting up here and talking to ourselves,
Gibberish for about 2 hours isn't always. It's not always a fun thing to do.
the stream is running on 53 minutes.
Almost the hour mark. That is a. Here.
Yeah. Once we do hit an hour, though, I feel like that is a solid place to end the first podcast.
I agree. It's always good to hear feedback. Know that other people are enjoying the content.
Yeah. And, especially on YouTube, there's not a lot of people that come into, like, podcasts with, like, one viewer.
Mm-hmm. That can expand eventually.
Yeah. What is your favorite? Trying to gaming equipment brand.
Gaming equipment brand? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Tough one. Because when you really think about gaming and you think about it in the wide picture, you can really say anything. Because it comes down to being technically Sony.
I have two,
brand,
but
Xbox.
for keyboard, I'm gonna have to go Razer 100%.
Razer is
But
fire.
for mouse, I'm gonna have to go with Logitech.
Solid. Logitech does make really good mouses. Mice.
Mouse, anything. Yeah, I currently have a Logitech G502.
Solid.
Going for around $100.
That's definitely a
But
good one to have.
25,600 DPI. Honestly, I can say it is 100% the nicest mouse I've ever felt. And it is worth that price tag.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Could cut it short, but it does. Another. If I do refresh, I think it does. I do believe we still have another in here.
yeah. For keyboard, I personally have a Razer Black Widow. They're going around. They're going around standard 55. Actually, no, never mind. They're going for 100 as well. And it clicks nice. It does everything amazing. The price tag, it's pretty reasonable, but the one thing that I like about it the most is in Razer Central, the app that automatically downloads when you plug it in, you can change the lighting pattern and effects to anything you want.
Mm-hmm. I honestly do not believe my keyboard has a brand name. I mean, obviously it has a brand name. Everything has a brand name in this world, but it's not like something major you would hear.
Yeah, I have so many keyboards. I'm not using my Razer keyboard right now. I'm using a Red Dragon right now, mini.
Mm-hmm. I just keep whatever I have on hand.
Yeah.
Ready to roll.
But
Hey,
if I had
as long
100,
as it we're good.
if I had $100 and I was in between a mouse and a keyboard, I would 100% go with the G502 over the Black Widow.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of $20 keyboards out there that will do the same exact thing, just without like the lighting pattern.
I don't even believe I spent that much on my keyboard. I believe my keyboard was like $35. I'm pretty sure. At least the one I'm using right now. I'm pretty sure it was $35. It has a lot of lighting patterns, many different modes, brightness settings, all the things you would expect on a keyboard.
Yeah, with the G502, which goes for $100, you can actually take off the bottom plate of it and add weights to fix it to whatever you want, which is a great, great thing that they added.
Yeah.
And I have it, but I'm pretty sure I got it for like $30 off. That's like the only reason I actually have the mouse. Because I know I probably will not spend $96 on a mouse.
Personally, I don't believe spending that much money on a mouse would really benefit you in any way. You could
Which I'm gonna be
find
honest, it is 110% worth that price point. Like nicest mouse I've felt in my life. G502 Hero, amazing. Would recommend for anybody. But I'd only get the mouse if you actually have
You've got
money to
got
spare.
money to throw around.
If you were in between, like, well, I don't want to say in between. If you don't have money to spare and you really need a mouse, and I wouldn't go with the G502. Like, yes, it is almost a 5-star mouse with 600 plus ratings. But if you're just like starting out, honestly, just get like a $20 mouse off Amazon. It's not that important.
Yeah.
So that wraps it up.
Does complete it off.
All right.
Podcast numero uno. Feel free to tap in whenever we're online.
Yes, sir. We will. Anybody feel free to join the Discord. We will announce all of our live streams in there. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.